Welcome back. Jenny Hutt is my co-host, a 16-year-old honor student. Jenny, I know this freaks you out, that if he's an honor student, he must be healthy and good.
I mean,
okay.
I would think, right? It's not you don't worry typically about the kid who's doing well in school.
Right, and it's interesting. I mean, we don't know. What I don't know is whether this kid has had a drop-off in grades before this whole episode, because dropping grades is actually a very, very specific sign of mental health trouble. Well, this kid creeped up to his parents' bedroom, tied their door shut, lights the house on fire, left them to die. The parents, fortunately escaped. The father forced to jump from a second-story window with breaking both of his legs in the process. His mother was still in the house, and she made this 911 call.
Butler County 911.
Help! Help! Well, our house is on fire.
Okay, what type of fire is it?
It's a house fire inside our house.
Okay, is everybody out?
No.
I need everybody to get out.
Thank you, buddy. Hurry, hurry!
Not everybody's out.
All right, now we have some animation of what the investigators suggested happened that night. At 11:30, this kid goes up, parents' bedroom, ties their door shut. Then he lights the hallway on fire, takes off, steals his dad's car, drives away. Oh, my God.
That first of all I can think, well, later when the mother found out it was him, she's still worried about him. That's the thing, Dr. Drew, that's so sick about this.
So, yes, in a second we're going to have the sheriff on the line who made the arrest, and I want to hear about that episode. But first I want to get our panel back. It's Shagun, Brian, Anna, and Lynn. And as I said, joining us by phone, Richard Jones. He is the sheriff in town. Sheriff, well, let's go right to that. My understanding is that when you, I guess, made the arrest, how did the parents react?
The mother wanted to give her son a hug before he left. The son had no remorse. She was worried he won't be able to go to school. Will somebody be able to call and tell him that he can't go to school?
Like how's he going to keep his grades up if he's accused of trying to kill his parents?
Wow. Now, this is a bizarre situation. This guy never been in trouble in his life, was in the band, honor roll student, tied the door shut, set the house on fire, then left. But he had, on top of all this, Dr. Drew, he had drawings and pictures of how much he hated his parents, how much he wanted them to die. He had a special little log book. No trouble ever in his life. His parents, the only thing they'd done, just small discipline. They took his cell phone away, and they were not going to let him drive the car. And I've been doing this for 40 years, and I have never seen anything like this. You know, shooting a parent or shooting someone is different than stabbing. Setting them on fire is a terrible way to die. There's no good way, but fire is one of the worst ways.
And especially with no antecedent warnings that this was all burning inside this kid, or his behavior hadn't manifested in any other domain or any other way. Let me ask the panel. You guys want to ask the sheriff anything? Who has a question? Lynn, go ahead.
Well, I'm just
Wait, Lynn first, then Brian.
I'm curious about these drawings and that journal. How detailed were his plans? What exactly did he say?
And how bizarre, and by the way, let me say, how bizarre, why do you need to draw out plans about tying a door and lighting a fire? I mean, what would the plans be?
Well, the plans were almost like a blueprint of a picture of a parent or somebody with their hands up in the air, very detailed, lots of hate in these drawings. You can see it, flames, just lots of hate. And then words, what he was referring to his mother, names that he was calling her, just immense hate. People in school were shocked. They said he was kind of a quiet guy. But he had drawings. He left. He'd come back. When they arrested him, he had no remorse whatsoever. It was almost like no big deal. Then on top of all that, in Ohio, you're adjudicated. You're tried juvenile crimes, 2 attempted murders, and 1 aggravated arson. And in Ohio, that's juvenile, but it's still felony. But he has an adjudication hearing probably in 2 to 3 weeks, and due to the severity of the charges, he'll probably be bound over more than likely by juvenile court and tried as an adult, which Brian. I feel he should be.
Brian first.
Okay, I read a couple of places. Yeah, I read a couple of places, Sheriff, that you want him to be tried as an adult in part because of the danger that he put firefighters and emergency responders in. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure, I can. My deputies get to this fire. They're the first on the scene. They push the door in. The father jumped out, broke his leg. He's injured. The mother's shouting for help. The deputies push the door in. They go in with a fire extinguisher and try to extinguish the fire. The flame, the smoke is so hot, they have to retreat from the house. They go back. They try to come in again. And they come back in. The smoke, the flames is too hot. They go back out. And if they got to the doors were tied shut. And then they didn't know if the boy was there. So then the fire guys get there. They have to go up the window. And, they respond there at high rates of speed. The deputies risk their lives. The fire guys risk their lives. And I don't think this guy should get a smack on the wrist, even if he's 15 years old.
Jenny, go ahead.
But I'm not a psychiatrist.
Jenny?
Is there any chance there was some sort of abuse in that house that we just haven't heard about yet?
Seriously? No, this is not that we've not seen. Basically, you guys have seen this, and I've been seeing it all over the country. These kids, they're coming from nice homes, $350,000, $400,000 homes, honor roll students, parents are do well. These aren't people that are shooting each other on the street, gang members. These mass shootings and these people that are trying to kill people, these are quality families, and the violence, what we're seeing, we're an area located between Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio, one of the 8 largest counties of 88 in Ohio. And we're seeing more violence in the entire state of kids, shooting kids, stabbing kids, and these kids are mostly coming from nice homes.
Is there any pattern that you see in these kids, that they use drugs or that they play video games or any? I mean, it's just hard to imagine that this could be the case.
The only pattern
is there a common denominator?
The only pattern that I'm
seeing.
Who
cares if there's a common denominator?
Well, let the sheriff answer, please.
If there's a common denominator.
Well, I'm going to let you answer.
This kid planned a murder. He planned a murder. He wrote it down. He took steps to journal it, to chronicle how he was going to do it. Right. We came on this same panel a couple days ago and were ready to throw away a key on a 14-year-old who snapped and stabbed somebody, and not one of you asked, was it rap music? Was it music? Was he into drugs? But this kid planned a murder, like a criminal mastermind, and the death of his parents.
No, we are asking about.
I'm asking about a common denominator. I'm asking about a common denominator for a very specific reason.
He tried to light them on fire.
Well, let me just say.
Well, I'm asking him a second.
Something that had
I'm
to do
against
with
the clock. I'm really against the clock. But Shiguna, I get your point. And the point, what we're trying to know is, and he is the case you're talking about, the 14-year-old, is something I'm thinking about as well. And I would like the sheriff just to answer this, then I have to go to break, which is, is there anything that we can attribute to this sudden increase across the board? Do you have any sense of that?
Yes. Exactly. When I talk to other sheriffs all over the country and law enforcement, I believe that it's the social media. They get into these cell phones. They get into online. They have chats with people they're not supposed to. They see more violence. It's okay to kill. It's just a bunch of drawings and pictures. I've been doing this for 40 years, and I have a master's degree from Xavier University, and I travel around on many boards. And we, as law enforcement, see more and more violence with kids. We see it every day. We believe that we haven't seen the tip of the iceberg yet.
Oh my God! Well, Sheriff Jones, thank you. I hope to speak to you again, because it's a spooky possibility. It's sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Unsettling at the best. So thank you so much. It's a very, very difficult material. All right, I'm going to bring a behavior bureau in. Thanks you, panel, to look for signs that might have been missed, perhaps.